Life doesn't always give you warnings. Sometimes it throws you straight into the storm, unprepared, uncertain, and completely alone. But here's the truth most people don't realize. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in chaos. This is the story of a man who lost everything he thought made him successful, and found something far more powerful. If you've ever felt broken, behind in life, or like you're stuck in a loop, this story is for you. Meet Michael. At 28, Michael looked like the perfect definition of success, or at least the kind people post about on Instagram. He worked as a software engineer for a mid-sized tech company in Austin, Texas. He drove a brand new car on lease, lived in a sleek downtown apartment, hit the gym 3 times a week, and posted progress selfies every Tuesday. To his family, he was the settled one. To his friends, the guy who made it. To his parents back home, the son they bragged about at barbecues and church gatherings. But none of them knew what Michael felt every night before bed. An emptiness he couldn't explain. His life was on repeat. Emails, code, takeout, Netflix, sleep. And he often found himself staring at the ceiling thinking, is this what success is supposed to feel like? But he didn't have time for big questions. Deadlines didn't care about existential crises. Until everything started to quietly fall apart. It began with promotion season. Michael had been grinding for 18 months straight, leading projects, mentoring juniors, even pulling all-nighters to fix bugs no one else could solve. He was certain this was his time. Then came the email. Star, we appreciate your contributions. However, this cycle, the promotion has been awarded to someone else. His junior, someone who joined a year after him, got the role. Michael smiled on the team call, said congrats, and muted himself. Inside, he was shattering. That night, he skipped dinner and sat in his car for 2 hours, engine off, staring at the steering wheel, wondering if effort even mattered anymore. That single moment of disappointment cracked something inside him. The crack spread fast. He lost focus, missed deadlines, stopped speaking up in meetings. The gym? Gone. The motivation? Gone. Instead, he spent hours scrolling social media, comparing himself to influencers, startup founders, and crypto millionaires who seemed light years ahead. 3 months later, HR called him into a meeting. No drama, no warning, just a polite, "We have to let you go." Michael didn't tell anyone, not even his parents. He pretended he was still working remotely, blamed bad Wi-Fi for missed calls, dodged questions from friends. He applied for jobs, but nothing stuck. Competition was brutal. Rejections piled up. His savings dried up. Bills piled up. He picked up freelance gigs, editing resumes, fixing small bits of code, even building websites for shady online businesses. But nothing paid enough. Nothing felt like progress. Then came the breaking point. His landlord raised the rent and gave him 1 week to pay or leave. Michael had $60 left in his account. That night, he wandered the streets and ended up in a small park. The swings creaked in the wind. The streetlights flickered. He sat on a cold bench and cried, not the quiet tears of stress, but the deep chest-shaking sobs of someone who didn't know who he was anymore. And that's when the old man appeared. Grey beard, worn sneakers, a bag of roasted peanuts in his hand. He didn't ask questions. He just sat down beside him. After a while, he said, "You know, most people think problems mean they're losing. But problems, they're ladders. Ugly ones, painful ones. But if you climb them, they take you places comfort never will. You're not broken, son. You're just being reformed." Michael didn't reply, but something inside him shifted. The next morning, he made a decision. 1 hour. Every single morning, that hour would be his. Not for scrolling, not for self-pity, for learning. No job? Fine. He would rebuild himself. He started with free online courses, digital marketing, design, storytelling, personal branding. He journaled daily. He launched a blog, anonymous at first, writing about burnout, layoffs, and identity loss. One post went viral. "I lost my job, my status, and my confidence. But I found something better." Messages poured in. A startup founder offered him a small consulting role, then another. Within a year, Michael built a tiny agency. Just him, a laptop, and the lessons life had beaten into him. He stopped pretending, stopped posting the highlight reel. Instead, he shared the raw story. Failure, depression, restart. That's what people connected with. That's what created opportunity. One day, a notification popped up. A message from his old manager. "Read your story. You've built something beautiful. Proud of you." Michael smiled. He didn't need approval anymore. But it felt full circle. And he finally understood something no job title or paycheck had ever taught him. Success isn't about climbing the fastest. It's about having the courage to start again when you're broken, lost, and alone. It's about rebuilding, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. Because life's most powerful lessons aren't taught in classrooms or boardrooms. They're earned in silence, in struggle, and in solitude. So if you're in the storm right now, remember, this is not your ending. This is your shaping. Don't quit. Don't run. Climb the ladder,